Up over here that you are lots of job seekers over here. What's the economy doing in Calgary right now? Is there hope there?
Well,
yes, there is.
It's there.
There's certainly movement, but if you look at it, the supply and the demand, right? And so, I think we're all adults here. A kick-ass LinkedIn profile, right? So you're ready to rock your LinkedIn profile and make it stand out from the crowd. How do you do that? By having a good profile, by having a tagline, a summary, by posting and branding yourself. Please come on in.
The doors are locked.
Oh, are they locked downstairs? Yeah. I'm so sorry, but you made it in.
Yes, we made it.
Awesome. Thank you. So the way I do my sessions is that I like it to be very interactive. Please do ask questions. I'm also hoping that my voice is not going to crack. I'm not going to prove it weak, so don't worry about that. Because of the smoke, I developed laryngitis, and so I wasn't even speaking last week, and I was quite afraid that, oh my gosh, how am I going to be able to do this? But anyways, here we are. So why LinkedIn? So Microsoft purchased LinkedIn last year for 500, what's the word here? For $26 billion. And what does that mean for you? It brings a much bigger business opportunities for people to use this platform. There are 500 million LinkedIn users as of April this year. Wow. It's one of the top rising social media platforms. And the studies say that if you're not on social media, then you're illiterate. That is the new stats, that if you're not on social media, you're illiterate. So 2.62 Microsoft purchases, it had large quarter three revenue of 960 million over here, and the daily users of LinkedIn are 40%. So these stats are a little bit old, they're about 3 months old. But that's the that's the latest stats I could get. So what does this all mean for you? There are lots of hands that are going up over here. That's 9 million active job postings. That is huge. Why do people use LinkedIn for job postings?
The one-level filter.
It's easy to filter, but it's also very current. It's very fast. Instead of posting it on their website, they need to make sure everything goes through and all of that. This is faster and easier because it's up on their social media page. 1 million published posts. And why do I bring this about? How many of you here are entrepreneurs? You put up your hand and you said that, you know what, I'm an entrepreneur. You need to be able to stay current and find out what's happening. So if you look at the post and figure out, okay, that's where the market is heading. This is what I can do to improve myself. LinkedIn had also purchased lynda.com, L-Y-N-D-A, and Lynda is an online learning. It has lots of different courses on it, and so now that is also on over there. And 1 billion endorsements. So what are endorsements? Yes.
It's almost like recommendations for people.
Yes, it's a short form of recommendations. The thumbs up. Yeah. Hey, I think you rock. So I would love some love on LinkedIn after this, okay? So please endorse people on LinkedIn. And the other thing I find, which is great about LinkedIn, is that people were hesitant on going on there. So I looked at this. Anybody heard about laid off Calgary?
Yeah.
This gentleman here said that he was on his fourth interview with the same company, went really well. He finally went on LinkedIn, and after almost 500 applications, how many people are feeling that they are applying and applying and applying and not finding anything happening to them? Which is a sad fact. It further went on that he said that he had lost all of his he had lost his home and everything because of the economy and everything, and he's now hired. If you look at a closer look at home, a lot of people are employed. The unemployment rate was 8.4%. Now, Calgary is very cyclical, and you know, we go through the boom and the bust, right? And so these are some of the latest stats that are happening over there. Okay, any questions, thoughts, comments on this? No, we're good? You guys are quiet. So, why do I bring this about? It's that once you start to play on LinkedIn, you figure out how to use it. You think about it as your social media playground. Lots of people are afraid of going on social media. So I hope by end of this session here, you get a little bit of an idea on what you need to do to amp up your profile and how you do it. Using LinkedIn, it will be for your brand. And platforms like LinkedIn are the new black, is what I say. So how do you establish brand presence? Connect with your audience. Anybody using other social media platforms and connecting with your audience? Yes, which one are you using? Facebook. Okay, excellent. Any others? Different sorts of, yes?
Instagram.
Instagram? Yes.
Alignable.
Alignable? Great, thank you. So yes, there are lots of social media platforms. I do find that LinkedIn is the best for what its purpose is. And if you use it to its best advantage, that you are able to then connect with your audience. And recruiters are hanging out there. HR folks are hanging out there. Your next hiring manager is hanging out there. So that's why I do say that it's great to be able to go on LinkedIn and connect with people. So, quick question here. What do you think is a high performer on LinkedIn? Then we can move on to the red flags. Engages, okay. Anything else?
Articles?
Pardon me?
Writing articles?
Writing articles, that's right. Long form posts and short sharing, that is a high performer. What else?
Engages, comments on others.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Someone who has a lot of endorsements and gives a lot of endorsements?
So you've got third-party verification that yes, you're doing something right there. Excellent.
More than 500 connections.
Well, it's not the quantity, it's the quality as well. So yes, there are some fake profiles, gasp, that are on LinkedIn.
But there's also those people that just click on random people. When it says people you may know, just like on Facebook, I've seen people, you know, and just to grow their list. They're not going to be able to target any audience that they want whatsoever.
Very good point
They
here.
figure they've got a high profile number of connections. That's going to make them much stronger on Facebook. When really it's weakening. Sorry, on LinkedIn.
That's right. So here is the answers to that. A great over here. So complete profile, it shows that you're connecting the dots and crossing the T's and all of that. Results in data driven, so that you have information that is there, for example, in your work history, showing that you know, you've saved money, you've improved efficiencies, you've done all of those things, and that is what is going to show as a good high performer. Having that group and community involvement. And what do I mean by that? You're following groups, but you're not just following groups randomly. You're targeting them because that is part of your brand, right? Having that recommendations is what people said earlier. Now the poor red flags are if there are any mistakes and typos. How many people know of recruiters and HR people that throw away the resume in the electronic shredding when they see typos on your resume?
I would do it myself.
Pardon me?
I would do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. So that does happen also on LinkedIn. If you have a short resume tenure, so what I mean by that is that if you have the job hopping that's happening, right? In 5 years ago, the average time, 10 years ago, let's go back there, The average time people spent at an organization was more than 3 years. Right now, what do you think the number is?
Probably have two.
That's right, it's 1 to 2 years. Now that is a little bit conflicting here.
I was gonna say, it's probably two-tiered. You probably have the people that have been there for a long time, and then the people that have 6-month contracts.
It does show contracts there, and that is one good point there, to show that that is a contract position. However, what I'm saying is there are some people who are not able to hold down their jobs, and then they are job hopping. So that brings about red flags to the recruiter. I understand the economy is poor right now, and people will see that lots of people have been laid off and all of those. But if you see a constant moving, then it's telling that person that, maybe I need to pay a little bit closer attention to this, right? And an unprofessional.
Sorry, are you saying that the recruiters start to see?
Is there a trend?
A trend
there?
of-
Yes. Trend in a
Job
person's profile.
offers and all that?
Yes, job offers. That's right. And an unprofessional profile photo. So what do I mean by that?
My picture.
Your picture? What is it?
Just my head. Photoshop somebody else's head.
Oh!
I do have a professional headshot, but when I switch it up all the time.
Okay.
I just
What
throw
else
whatever
do I
one gets
see?
the most likes on Facebook.
It's not the same. Sorry? Pardon me? Selfies, that's right. What else have I seen?
Hats, baseball hats on sideways.
Yes, or
Avatar.
pictures, duck lips. Do you know what those are? Those are so old, but I still see that.
People are still building those avatars too. That look like that avatar too.
What's a duck lip?
Yeah.
Anybody else want
How
to
they do
demonstrate?
it.
Is this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do I see? Pictures of, their kids and
Dogs,
pets
cats,
and all of those.
bar pictures.
Bar pictures, pictures of them hanging up. This does really damage your reputation, and it's unbelievable about how many people are doing those, right?
You suggest having a photo?
I beg your pardon?
You suggest having a photo?
You must have a photo. And I'm going to go through that in just a moment here. It's because it builds a reputation, it builds your brand. Now, it also talks about that it's relationship building. Now, it's a little bit weird. On resumes, we say not to add a picture because I have lived in several different countries, and there the norm was pictures. So, however, in the Canadian or in the North American market, putting pictures shows that you're not, you don't have the Canadian background and all of that. So that would be damaging. But with LinkedIn, it also sets you apart. It tells people, okay, I recognize this person because Alnoor is my name. How many people are with the same name? You'd be surprised. And that way, that is carrying my brand there, right? So, a quick look at the profile. Sorry, I'm lubricating my throat. I'm getting over laryngitis because of the smoke, actually. So yes, it does say 500 plus over there. With LinkedIn, if you have 499 or more connections, it defaults to 500 plus. So that's what it says. LinkedIn has kept on changing its format every few years, and I'm going, oh, I guess I have to now learn how to do this again before I start delivering to the to my clients here. The next thing you see is just my name, Alnoor. I've not got the alphabet soup because why do you think I've not got that there? So, people have got their credentials, their bachelor of whatever, I've got my master's, I've got all of this and everything, all the other. Any idea?
You want to be more personable, right?
You want to be personable and not just, because you are what's important, not your degrees and all of that. And when people go creep on you, that's the lingo that is used on social media, come on in, please.
Sorry,
No
what's
worries.
the lingo, sorry?
Creep, C-R-E-E-P.
Okay.
And what that means is that they are going to Google you up they don't put down your first name, your last name, and all of your education and all of that, right? They just put your first and last name. And what happens is that your profile on LinkedIn ranks higher on Google. And so that's the reason I suggest just putting your first and last name.
So I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I'm clear.
Yes.
You're saying that without the designations behind, you rank higher in Google, is that correct?
No, it's professional not to put that down, because I can always go into your education and look at what you've
Yeah.
got. The first thing that is important is, just showing who you are and showing up, right? And then you've got this, I've got my picture. So I've done a no-no here, and I'm okay with that, because I'm going to break the rules, but I'm asking you not to break the rules. Why? Because as Stephen said, I was walking at the back there like a boss. And what that is I've got my company, my branding right here. I am Alnoor. So I'm not Al. Al means the in my language. I am the light. So I bring light to career life. But what is that picture representing? It's showing that, it's got a clean backdrop. That's what we're looking for. Looking at a smile that is engaging. A picture that is recent, not something that is a few years back. I know the high school picture might have been fantastic with the 80s hair and all of that, but you need to keep it current, because when people come and see you in person, they're like, I thought I was meeting Sam and not, who is this, right? So that's the reason I say a clean backdrop, nice engaging smile, yes.
I was just wondering how often you recommend getting your headshot redone, just because I've heard so many different things about however many years in between.
Something that really looks like you. So if you've undergone some change and all of that, if I put my picture that was even, say, 3 years ago, I was a little bit larger than now. I've now lost 170 pounds. So my picture on LinkedIn has shrunk. Yes. People say, oh my God, you're shrinking, I say. But, my brand will never shrink. Yes. So yes, my picture has changed over the years, but I'm not putting one up every few months or something like that. It does look like me. It's a current picture of me. This was taken last year. Right? You do not have to go invest in a professional photographer, but make sure it's not a selfie, and make sure it's something that looks like it is, updated, current, and keep it, professional. I see lots of people having their company logo as their picture, but that is not who you are, because I have no idea who this person is if that is the company logo only. So great question there. Yes.
If I might make a suggestion with your photograph, have it on a blank background. Don't have a doorway or a light or anything. Like just on a plain wall, even if it's just but not any distractions in the back of. Just like that there. There's nothing in the back except.
Thank you. I appreciate that. As a matter of fact, July 22nd, I had a session here, and Hussam brought out these beautiful photographer lights, and we had a photo shoot right here. So, that was all part of that session. So again, it's talking about not spending all of that money and looking at resources that you can get. So what else am I going to talk about here this is your tagline. And what hurts you is saying, seeking for work, looking for work. That is not who you are. And if you see over there, you've got things like International Lifestyle Guru and all of those. Why? It's because I'm saying that this is who I am, this is what I do, not say engineer. Right? It's creating that space. This is prime real estate right here for you to shine. Because people go, oh my gosh, but you know what? Nobody will know who I am. Well, think about the audience. Who is your audience? Who is going to be reading this? Speak their language, because those are the ones that you're going to be talking to.
just for clarity, as a job seeker, it's not beneficial to put in something in your tagline that advertises that you're looking for employment?
No, because that's not who you are.
Okay.
There's
So they-
more to you.
So would a recruiter not, use that filtering a search result for candidates, or?
I'd like to see magic over there. What's your secret sauce? How are you gonna stand out? What am I going to get from you if I hire you? And that's what I'd like to see over there. Next, I'm going to talk about is the geographical location. I'll show that in a little area. And this is the what my profession is. Current, I have different roles that I've showcased over here. My previous roles, my education shows up there, and I'm going to go further down and put it, with what I have. When I took a clip of this picture, I had 34 people that had recommended me, and I put my websites up there. So when people click on this, it'll take them actually to my website. So that's the first thing that people see. Lots of you here are recruiters, some of you are entrepreneurs. And when a recruiter goes through there, they're trying to find out, okay, what exactly do I want to, resumes get how many second glance or minute glance? Pardon me? 30 seconds?
Or less, yeah.
7.
6 seconds. You have a 6-second chance to make an impression on a resume. LinkedIn, we don't have the stats yet, but just imagine the amount of time the recruiter has to go through different profiles to find that right candidate, because that is their job. Their job is not going to be like, okay, I have lots of time to read through this one. You need to make that impression right now, and boom, get them to read more. Are you all with me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Any questions up to now?
Well, I will ask one, is this gonna be available online? Like, we'd be able to, like, access this on the internet after, or just, like, tomorrow?
Ah, you mean my presentation?
Yes, that's right.
I hadn't thought of that. I could put up the slide deck. Yes, I can do that for you. How are we going to do that, Steve?
We'll get a link.
Do what we did for our Instagram workshop.
Yeah.
Just make an ebook out of it and put it on our website.
Done. You got
Don't
it.
worry, there's gonna be no email trap. It'll be free.
Yes, free of charge. That's right. Okay, so we can go further down. Great questions here. How are we doing for time? We're doing good. We're excellent on time. So let me share with you some recent success story. I had an engineer that was through a PEGA that hired me to work on their LinkedIn profile. Engineer, Calgary, how is that? Anybody? That's right. So I said, what are you doing? What's your resume is, excellent. You're getting lots of views, but they're not from Calgary. Are you looking to move? He said, yes, I'm applying everywhere. Where are you applying? He said, Toronto as well, because I've heard that there are engineers getting hired over there. So what I did was I put up the background picture, the top of on LinkedIn, to Toronto skyline. That was exactly the picture I put up there. Within a day, he was contacted by a recruiter, and he was asked, so, I called this number, but it's a Calgary number. He said, yes, that's right. He said, I really like your profile. I like your resume that you sent me. When can you come in for an interview? Can you come in for an interview on Monday? He said, yes, I can. Are you in Calgary, though? He said, yes. I'm flying out there on Sunday. By Friday, the following week, he was there signing the offer letter. So geographical location works. Lots of people are putting down things like Canada. Well, Canada is a huge country. So think about targeting the geographical location on LinkedIn as well.
Your own personal geographical location.
Wherever you're looking for.
You can say that's where you are.
That's where you are.
Yeah, I know a number of people. I spent 20 years in South Korea. I belong to the Repat network website. This is, again, where people are applying for jobs, if they say they're from Korea, they get 0 responses. But if they say they're from, Padon, Alabama, you know, some Joe named town in Alabama.
So I'm not asking you to
Yeah.
go to Alabama or something like that.
But that's where they're looking for work, so.
That's right, that's right.
They
And
get-
that
they get
really
better
does,
responses.
yes. So thank you for that, I appreciate that. Fantastic there, good stuff. Skills. So this is where that endorsement piece comes in. You'd be wondering, what kind of skills do I put down? And so, think about it, what are the recruiters looking for right now? What are the HR managers looking for right now? If you're gonna put down just oil and gas, then I'm sorry, you are limiting yourself if you're not already high up there, right? When you put down your skills, your profile is viewed 4 times more, and when you use the same words in your summary and work experience, then what are you doing is you're building keyword density. And that helps your profile to get viewed even more. I would like you to add minimum of 10 skills. However, only the top 3 are the ones that will show up. Why? With the recent changes in LinkedIn, before you could put up to 50. What I've done is I've started to delete many of these right now. So, when people start seeing these are some of the skills that you have, they will start endorsing you for those skills. And that will be helpful for you. Because when I am, as a recruiter, as an HR person, I had an apple with an apple. Both perfectly fine apples. By the way, I like Pink Lady. With stilettos, red stilettos, just kidding. So if 2 of the same, stellar candidates, one has got more endorsements, I'm going, okay. A third party has said that this person is good at this. Maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention to this candidate, right? So that's the reason why it's important to have skills over there.
I have a question.
Maybe, yes.
I had lots of times when I was a celibate that people would endorse me, having just met me. I didn't know who the hell they even were. But they were giving me this, phony endorsement, so,
It seems that they're like a fall back.
And what I call that is quid pro quo. And that is, I had somebody email me, and she had emailed 49 other people on her list. Hey, all, and the grammar was atrocious. Can you please endorse me for these 5 skills only? And please email me back and let me know what 5 skills you want me to endorse you for. That is going to hurt you, because this person who you don't know, you have endorsed them for those 5 skills, and that recruiter or somebody who you know of, or the neighbor's dog's father's sons and whatever, is like, oh, wait a minute, this person endorsed this and they turn out to be a bad candidate, then it's your reputation, right? It's your brand. We're always talking about brand. And when you start endorsing people for stuff that is not good, that's going to hurt you even more. So great question, thank you for that. Some of the top skills are lots of IT related skills, but also customer service, project management, business support are some of the things that are 2017's top skills that you're looking at. Yes?
Is PowerPoint a skill that you should put up there? I know, but it's one of the skills.
That's why I was like, people are putting that up there. That isn't one of the skills things. So I'm just like, right? So thank you for that. So next I'd like to say is joining the right groups. So why join groups? Lots of information is available to you. The way things are changing is at an astronomical rate. So when you have information from subject matter experts in the field. Or maybe you're looking at moving from one area and going into next, because you have lots of transferable skills that are not just the oil and gas ones. When you start belonging to groups like that, it shows that you're trying to get interest. But before you do that, you know, don't just go join random groups just because somebody says that you have to join these groups. Again, I say, you know your brand over here. Join and lurk, keep your profile current and updated. Make sure you have a picture there, and then start commenting. And what's the beauty of this is that you do not need to get into a professional LinkedIn premium page. How many of you have premium LinkedIn profiles? 1, 2. How much are you paying for that? You just signed up. Okay?
I was gonna say $30 a month.
$30 a month. I am frugal. Okay? I do have a basic profile, and it's working fine. I get lots of, connection requests. I get lots of speaking opportunity gigs. I get clients through that as well. Yes?
I was gonna ask if we are gonna cover at any point what the difference between a free and a premium account is.
Well, there are more bells and whistles, right? But still, the bells and whistles are you can send in mails. However, you find out what group this person belongs to that you want to send a message to that you're not connected. The beauty is you join that group, right? And you can send free direct messages because of that. There's subject matter expertise. You strengthen your connections and you learn. You skill up when you join groups. So that is what the beauty of this, right? The next thing is to follow companies. So as a recruiter, I'll quickly skim to the person's profile and I say, they're following my company. I feel the love.
Yeah.
I want to, they're very interested in my organization. Yes?
Can they see when you started to follow their company?
I don't believe so.
You do get the alert saying this
You do
so-and-so
get
is
an
following
alert,
you.
but you can't say when you joined the company,
Okay.
right? Sorry, you had a question?
Oh, no, I was just, I think it does show up in your.
It does show on your feed that you're following, that's right. But it doesn't tell the recruiter that this is, when exactly they started following my company, right? What is beautiful about following companies is that you go on the company page, look at the career, the general information. What about the corporate culture? And what are the developments? Why is that important? You get selected, shortlisted for an interview. You then go into that organization with information that is current, that is up to date. And it shows the recruiter, the HR person, that yes, you are interested in them. And that's the reason why following companies is important. Lovely questions here. I'm loving the energy that's happening in the group. So let me share a success story. How many of you are just applying for jobs and not following up?
I used to do that.
You used to do that.
Never got anything.
Okay, so Fabian was one of my clients. He was desperately looking for jobs for 2 years. He started working on his profile after I strengthened it all up, and he started building his connections, his network, and connecting with these people and finding out what are their strong suits. Then he would follow companies that were advertising lots. And he said, he reached out to a recruiter and says, I have an excellent candidate for you. The HR recruiter, would you like to meet for coffee and I'd like to discuss this? And 90% of the time, they turned him down and said, do you mind if we do a Skype call? He did that a few times, and they said, how much can we do? What would you like? He goes, no, I'm just, doing this because I love doing this. And 2 months later, they were working very hard to create a role just to fill him. And so he got a job just by doing that. Yes, I understand it is hard, but there's the beauty of LinkedIn and how you connect with people and not just go out and say it's all for you, how you help people, right? So that is the hidden job market, is how you can use that, and that's what he did. So let's go into endorsements and recommendations. What's the difference between them? A quick click and you can say, yes, this person is good at this. Recommendations, however, require more thought process. They're not just saying, hey, Alan is good at this, and that's why you should hire him. You need to give a rock star recommendation. How do you do that? By looking at, what exactly did they do? What difference will they make for your organization? And why they are the one that is best fit for this. So that is through a recommendation. So it gives a deeper insight into the professionalism. Good? So that's what I was talking about before, the quid pro quo, about the endorsement. This person sent it to 50 people. Hey, what skills do you want to be endorsed for? I would say, please, no, right? Because that's going to hurt your brand. Yes.
What about somebody just says, I want to link with you, and you don't know who this person is? I am very reluctant in situations like that. If I don't check them out, I just want to link with you like this. I think one of the gentlemen, one of the ladies said they're clicking just for the sake of clicking. How do you feel about that?
You get that
So,
generic message.
Yeah.
what I am a lion. Do you know what that means? LinkedIn Open Networker. Now I'm paying a little bit closer attention and looking, is there a picture? Because what I've seen that is happening is that there are the same silhouette, but different faces, badly photoshopped on the same silhouette. And those are just, fake profiles that are happening. Look at adding a personal comment each time you connect with the person. It's not about just clicking in all of those. Yes?
When I get things like that, one of the first things that I do if I'm on my computer is I right click and I do a reverse Google image search.
Yeah.
Because I've found people that actually here in Calgary, but somebody had stolen his picture and it was actually the real person connecting with me. But there was 12 different profiles on LinkedIn using that same picture. And so that's one of the ways that I feel is just very quickly doing a reverse image search. And
so I do connect with lots of people. Why? Because I don't only operate out of Calgary. I have sessions that are going on in various different parts of the country. I've taught in China. I did a management session. I did a motivational session last year in a couple places in China. Yes?
Alnoor, sorry to interrupt. I just have a question about those fake profiles, and I wonder about it with Facebook as well. Because this is something I don't really understand. What are they doing it for? To fish for information that I've made public anyways? Like, I don't understand. Like, when I get fake friend requests from people that I obviously don't know, it happens a lot on Facebook. What's the point? I mean, they can see the information anyways. I don't care.
So what they do is 9 out of 10, they then send you a message right away asking for you to some kind of bogus scheme, some kind of, hey, we're looking to hire, you have to work only part-time, maybe 5 hours a week. Please do send your, full information to this, and we are a legit company.
Okay.
All of those things that are happening out there. Yes, and that does happen. You cannot, but still, there's beauty to LinkedIn. There's lots of good that is happening. Let's not just sour the few bad apples.
I have another question about the recommendations. I know, like, you can ask for a recommendation from an old boss, but can you ask a recommendation from a friend? Or is that?
So that could be, if you're working in the same team, that is great, because that is giving a rock star solid recommendation. Not that, hey, you know, I've hung out with Sam, we've actually climbed a mountain, and we got a mountain high or something like that. You know, that's not, you know, it's a little bit of an inside joke, because these two climbed mountains together, and one of their posts was, you know, so that's why. So, you know, it's...
Feeling that Rocky Mountain high. It was a reference to the John Denver song.
Joking, but yes.
When you give a recommendation, as you're giving the recommendation, the relationship, there's a question there, there's a drop down menu.
Yes.
About
How that relationship is there. So yes, you would do that, but then that is that character reference perhaps. What I do caution against is, you know, hey, you know, you've written recommendation, thank you so much. Now, can I get a recommendation from you? Scratch my hair back, I'll scratch yours. That doesn't look good, right? So they could have a few of the same, you know, reciprocation of recommendations. They should also be organic recommendations. Excellent questions that are coming up here. Thank you for that. So with all of these, I would like you to download the app on your phone, because, you know, while you're waiting for your double tall Americano bistro with soy foam and all of that, you know, you can go on LinkedIn, and yes, I'm one of those. I know what I want. I'm not difficult. And still connect with people, because that's the beauty of it. While you're waiting for your drink, hi, I'm Alnoor. So tell me about yourself. And usually what people do, oh, I am unemployed, whatever, HR engineer. But tell the person who you are. What is your secret sauce? And then, you know, hey, would you like to sit down for a cup of coffee and then just discuss? Because that's where networking works. Networking is not just those clicks on the phone and all of those. This is a tool, a wonderful tool that is available for you. But the beauty happens is when you connect in person, right? So, what Sam was talking about earlier was long-form post and short-form post. When you go into deeper into topics, that shows that, hey, you know stuff. That is when you're creating those posts. LinkedIn has changed a little bit of it, and it used to be called the Pulse. Yes?
I have kind of a tricky question.
Yes.
I have an amazing experience as a career coach. With a lot of skills, information in that area. But I'm in a transition for something very different. Would you recommend just to do a company LinkedIn profile, or should I just switch everything in my LinkedIn profile?
No, because that is what's happening in the market right here, right? People don't have to switch to what they were. It shows that yes, change the wording. What can you do from that past that you can do into the current?
But they are very different.
That's okay. There is still something in there that you can showcase, right? Everybody has a past history, not just because you don't want to create what's happening now with all of this. And that is what's happening in Calgary right now. There are lots of people that are unemployed. So they are moving into a different career. You need to show what you've had as well. So please keep that, because all of your endorsements and all of that, it's going to slowly be in that. Yes?
Just I want to tell her, like, I used to be an engineer. I studied engineering, chemical, and now I'm doing this. So there are skills that transfer between jobs, like problem solving and entrepreneurship. So
And working hard.
Working hard, long hours. So you can use some of the skills from the other job for your next job.
Thank you for that. Yes.
And building up.
So the short forms are when you're sharing links, when you're liking on articles and sharing images, you're trying to gain followers. When you grow ideas and share thought leadership, that's when it's showing that, hey, and when a recruiter or your next project idea as an entrepreneur shows that, they say, I need to connect with this person. And that's where you build from it.
So really the combination of the two.
That's right. That's right. I would recommend looking at those.
Because I find a lot of people do the short form.
So in the beginning, when you're trying to thread the waters, that's when you do the short. Then when you start writing all of those, that's when I would suggest you go into that.
Right. The long form, is that necessarily just your idea, or is it like you're posting type of like essay?
Just a little louder, please, sir.
Great question.
What was
So
the
he's
question?
saying, is that your idea? So what I would say the long form is, I've seen a couple different things, right? I've seen where people take bits of something else and develop their own story from there, or it could be a completely different thing.
Because one of the things I find like is where I'm comfortable with people who do like long forms is I'll read something and like it's like an idea taken from there, like swears it. And I know companies will take an idea or whatever, that's like kind of cool and stuff like that.
That's right.
So like is it kind of the same thing, but then they feel like they give it more than I should.
No, so this is where what would really help is when you then link back to wherever, it helps to gain more followers to you. Yes.
So you
Great
just-
question there. You would add that link with the source where you got that from. Yeah. And when you publish the posts and all of those, you can then link it up, you can format it, you can add pictures. It's really beautiful what they've been doing right now. So again, keep it, with all of these, you need to be able to engage somebody who wants to read more, right? If it's just going to be a book, reading, people are not doing that anymore. They're doing it with like short bits of information that's coming at them. So maybe a page, things with the long form will be great as well. Yeah, great questions here. Thank you. So why is all of this important? Again, it's all about the brand. I posted this, networking, would you kindly come in with a yes or no to the following question to help with my steps? Have you benefited professionally from LinkedIn? I posted this. Within 5 days, I got 22,000 views. Within 2 weeks, it had skyrocketed to even more. So what? What happens is when people comment and all of that, there were second degree connections, which is wonderful. What is a second degree connection?
Friend to friend.
Yes, so a connection, but that connection is connected to that is a second degree. A third, it's like 6 degrees of separation, but LinkedIn uses the third degree is what it calls it. So anybody who is outside of those, right? So that helped my brand and rose my profile views really higher. So I think that is very important. So the quick and easy, 15 minutes a day. Spend some time while you're waiting for the bus, while you're getting your coffee or whatever, post, share, like, connect with people. Do not just send a connection request, but personalize it. Follow groups and companies, recommend others, write articles. Yes?
You can't personalize a connection request unless you have to put it in a package.
No.
No, you can.
You can.
With the new thing, yes, you can. You
can
click
either
on the
send
three dots.
Or an email?
No. You would connect, you would click on the 3 dots and send a personalized email. And now the new thing that's happened
Does it
is you
still
can
ask
even
if you know
connect
that?
to a 3rd degree connection. Beg your pardon?
Does it still ask you how do you know that?
No, it doesn't. Things have changed. I used to hate that. You're at a networking event, you meet somebody that is your 3rd degree connection, And you know, if you click on I don't know, that was the old LinkedIn.
Yeah.
The new LinkedIn, don't just connect. Send a personalized message. Before you thought you couldn't do that on the phones. You click on the 3 dots on the phone by the person's picture, and you would send them a personalized note to connect. So those are the new things that have happened with LinkedIn. So, how many of you already thinking of that coffee from the double tall American Bistro? People forget 40% of what they've learned in 20 minutes. Do you know my name, by the way?
Alnoor.
And 77% of what they learned in 6 days. I do have a special thing, and again, I really appreciate Hustleco for hosting this for tonight, providing the bevies and all of that. But I do have the full day session that's coming up. The tickets are on Eventbrite. It's only $147. I just found out that somebody was charging $299 for a 3-hour session here in Calgary. I'm providing this for $147. Lunch and snacks are provided, and it's going to be a boot camp. We're going to build some muscle and have fun. And love for you to sign up. It is on Eventbrite. And yes.
Is it more for people who are looking for a job or more for entrepreneurs? Because we have sort of different levels of the way we look at things.
Thank you for that. How I run my workshops is I would like a diversity. Because if I'm just holding it just for job seekers, then you're not getting the other think tank that is out there. You may never know what is happening, what would come up from a different person than just those job seekers. So I have it for professionals that are career transitions. I have it for entrepreneurs. I have it for new grads and job seekers. Yes, Osam?
I just, like you're here giving a talk about LinkedIn. I just want you to talk a little bit about your story and where you were and what you're doing now and how you did that transition.
My story of how I
made the transition to start your own company, Alnoor, and how that happened. I think that's very important for people to know that.
So, as I shared earlier, that I was in human resources and I went into transition into career coaching. I was working full-time, doing resumes, checking LinkedIn profiles, throwing out workshops and all of those, and I got laid off. And so I decided, you know what? This is my calling, to be able to go out and deliver these sessions to people who are out there. I've actually my hair is standing of the blessings that I've got, being asked to deliver sessions for PEGA. I was at the conference, I was asked to do a keynote speech and all of these things, and sharing the stories, because it is sharing stories and communication that's what help people, and that's what I find is my mission. And we had this session here on the 22nd of July. It was amazing to see the transformation of all of those people, and see how at the end of the day they got, you know, the light bulbs that are going off. And that is what brings me joy, is to see those light bulbs happening. And yeah, so thank you for asking that question, and thank you, Sam, for getting me to talk about that. Yes. Yes. Well, I've got this one lined up, and yes, I'm going to have another one, which is going to be targeted again. You know, I'm thinking of having just maybe even only new grads or just professionals. But I love the beauty of having it where there is a mixed diversity in the crowd. Yes. Okay, so great. I can book another session. And what I can even do for this particular one, if you book into this one, I will allow you to roll into the next session, so you're not tied up to this session. I do provide a gourmet catered meal. Remember last time it was fabulous sandwiches, and we had granola and yogurt and cheese and all of those. So it is a great session. Now, how many of you feeling a little overwhelmed by the information that I've shared? Some? You know what I like is that when you're overwhelmed, your resiliency kind of goes down. To bring it back up, you gotta do something. You got it, Maestro. Can we get some house music? Who's ready to dance?
Let's do it.
House. Sexy house. Because what happens when you dance, it releases endorphins. The stress gets out. And what I would like to share, just last night, what I saw on LinkedIn, is somebody had posted, I'm so desperate, I'm ready to give up, I'm ready to throw in the towel. Meanwhile, her summary shows that this person is powerful, resilient, happy, and everything. And there's a conflicting message that's going on there. And when recruiters and HR people, when they see that, the desperation that's going in there, what is that going to tell them? That when things go tough in the organization, they're not going to be able to handle it. So you need to be able to, yes, resilient. How do I do this?